मुझे छू लो अभी, and yeah, that's all the pun that I had to add. Because I definitely need somebody to pinch me right now. I am interviewing somebody whose music has been very instrumental in propelling my love and my fondness towards the Indian independent music scene. Raman Negi, it's such an honor to be hosting you for On VJ's playlist. How are you doing?
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. Thank you.
Well, like I said, I really need somebody to pinch me right now because I have been meaning to interview you and have a lovely, eventful conversation with you from some time because ever since you released Shakhsiyat as a debut performer now. Um,
Yeah.
every song, every written word that you have in Shakhsiyat right now, it speaks highly about how your journey has culminated into what it is right now, what we all can see from somebody who started as a young aspiring musician who was a part of a quartet, left the quartet, and then ventured out into finding his own calling. I mean, it's been about 20 years right now, Raman, since you've been in the process of making music. How do you look at your journey so far?
Yeah. Now, as you put it, 20 years. Yes, I have. I mean, as a kid, when I was like in my first year of college, and we used to, I think the sense of, that independent music in India, that time in Delhi, we used to follow RSJ and GIR and Amit Saigal and whatever he used to do with bands and, gigs. So I have always believed in following that thing, like you write your own music and you release it yourself. Because I mean, from day one, I did not at that time, also 20 years ago, the labels were not really doing much of the sort of music that I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
you know and I think the only label I used to follow at that time was Fatfish Records, because they put out Avil's album and Rabbi's album, and apart from that there was no like guitar based music that I could relate to. And so since then I formed the band, and then I started releasing music with the band, and now I'm doing this one. But what has not changed, that I still have the same, that sort of energy that I want to do it myself, and I want to have the creative control myself, and I want to truly give the most honest music that I can make to my audience. And to look back at the journey, I think I have earned a lot by doing whatever I've done. And I'm so like, I sometimes I wake up and in the morning and I think about my life, and I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
I mean, I still get to play my guitars as a on a research purpose. Yeah, I'm still figuring out. I'm still learning. I still get to make, even to start my own solo career and decision. I'm so grateful that I get to do this.
Yeah.
I get to, at this age, I get to like opt out of something and I have to opt something else. I still get to do it, and so I still have, now my new fan base is like coming along, and people still care. And I know that how what I wrote 20 years ago and what I write now as a songwriter
Yeah.
has evolved. So I can't help but being, I'm really grateful for what is happening to me. And it's amazing at times. I think, oh yeah, still get to like live my life my own way.
Yeah.
I think that is what being sort of what we call indie is. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle. It's not a sound, or it's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think it's a lifestyle. It's like, it's a way of life that we choose.
Yeah.
And to still do it my own way, and to still work with so many creative people around me,
Yeah.
to work with the best in the country around me, to be managed by the best people around me in the country, and to really be able to share my vision about how Hindi music should be, and my contribution, a little bit of it, to Hindi music, you know, I am just very grateful to be here. Like, people want to know about, I I can't believe it. Some days I just go like, wow, I still get to wake up and try a song, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna try a new song. And to do that for a living is a gift. I don't want to take it lightly.
Yeah.
So that makes me keep going, and to take this more seriously. Like I always like to really pursue it. Like, and I don't know how to express it. It's just very overwhelming at times. Wow, I'm still doing it. It's amazing, and still music is coming out, and
Yes.
albums are. It's just amazing. It has been a great journey since my TLT days. Like I had fun there. I'm still having fun, with my
Yeah.
own thing. So I'm very thankful to the fans who have always supported me over the years. So yeah.
Well, I think you and I, we both can, relate to this one aspect for sure, because even before we started this interview, I kind of briefed you about myself and I said that I have started my, new day job, and it's just been about 2 months actually. But prior to that, there was a period of lull. I was not working anywhere. And prior to that, I was at a radio station for 5.5 years doing what I love to do every day. And, I was
Mm-hmm.
getting to experience new stories, have some amazing encounters with people and learn about their journeys and anecdotes. But when that phase is there, when that phase of transition, what we call, when suddenly you feel like you're in some sort of when you feel like your train is stuck at one place and there is no way forward.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. It was not at all. Oh God. But but I'm sure at one point, Raman, you must have felt this, that that when you left a quartet, there was a sense of comfort. There was a sense of that okay, that no matter, even if I stumble or I falter somewhere, I have some amount of support to fall back to. But then when you started
Hmm.
again, or all by yourself, independently, there must have been somewhere that one point where you must have asked yourself, okay, why do I have to do this all over again? And why do I have to like uh, make all the hustle and build everything from just the idea of building everything from scratch? Because everyone has this very, very purported, definitive idea about success or idea about progress in general. But very seldom do we celebrate the idea of starting all over again, going back to the bouncing board and, drawing and charting our ways all over again. So how did you deal with it? And what is it that gave you the strength and the courage to, kind of tread your path further?
Uh, like you are absolutely right. Like how, like when I meet musicians now or the people in the business, I now feel that the discussion of music has changed from how we should discuss. I think how we used to discuss art 10 years ago. I
Yeah.
don't think we discuss it now like that. I think we discuss it more as a product, or let's say what is that God forsaken word, content. Like I'm a content creator basically.
Yeah.
You're a content creator, right? And that I think that has that discussion. The music is has just become a part of this huge media thing.
Yeah.
Like it is a media business now. It's not from I understand that it's not music business for a lot of people now. It is a media business, right? And I understand that's how social media and how the things, Facebooks or Meta and Twitters and Spotify's and DSPs and Apple Music, everything is working and how they come together and it becomes a media business more than the music business. Although
Yeah.
it wouldn't exist without the music, you
Yeah.
know. But still, there is so much less focus on see any artist if they have to grow and truly find their voice, they have to be nurtured, I believe. And it is not it like nowadays people are mostly talking about the numbers and how much is your reach and what is your reels reach on Instagram, share that with us, like who is the where is your fan
The
base and stuff like that.
paraphernalia continues.
Yeah, so now that is the more debate, and I get that. Like that is what your vibe is great, you know. But for me, I understand that. Like there is music and there is music business, right? They're two different things, and
Yeah.
you need both. I get it. I'm not saying that you don't have to play the game, but before that comes for me, it was always about music. what I wanted to speak to. And like I worked I started a band and I worked towards it, and I reached a point, and it was great. It
Yeah.
was comfortable. It was, people know you now. You don't have to like do the hustle. You don't have to goddamn change your own guitar strings. You have like roadies, and I had like a permanent guy to change my guitar strings. Really, like that was sort of the life I was living,
Yeah.
and it was fun, right?
Yeah.
To live to live as an independent act and to be that, have that much of thing around you support. It was nice, but I enjoyed playing for thousands of people, but I did not think that that was going to be it for me, and that I'm going to be end up, because it was curtailing my creativity. Because see, when you are an independent act and you are working for survival,
Yeah.
which I was in that band for the longest time till it got into the thing, right? It flew, and we were everywhere. But
Yeah.
before that, it was mostly about survival, I would say. And
Hmm.
you are doing things to get by, and there is music, you believe in it, but it is slower. There's so many people involved, and as I was given, what do you call it, the exposure to play so many big festivals and so many big stages, what I see, like you are playing a festival and five other acts are also playing there, right? Like headlining it on different nights and whatever, what's happening. I did not see me doing just that because I've written a big song, right?
Hmm.
I wanted more it to be about more, like I wanted it to be more musical. I wanted to be able to jam on the stage, or I wanted to, get out of this. Like I see bands and I see artists who play the same song for 30 years, and I get that you only have that. I get it.
Yeah.
Like you've made it, and it's great. I did that for 10 years. It's
Yeah. But what
great.
after that?
Yeah, but like something strange happened to me. Like I don't know how it changed. Like I stopped enjoying the same songs and I wanted to change them.
Yeah.
I wanted to like break them down. I wanted to reharmonize them, and I wanted to get like a horn section. I wanted to get a piano player, and I wanted to do so many things on the stage to make it exciting for me. Because the music have that million followers here and there, and but that was not for me.
Yeah.
And if I realized that that's not who and like I did not accept that this is my life. Like this is it. This is where you are. And of course, you could grow with an act and go there, but it was not satisfying to me, because as musicians, I think I grew in a different tangent than the rest of the people that I was working with. And I think a lot of 60s, 70s music happened to me.
Hmm.
I don't know how I reached there. And yes, I asked this question to myself, the real question that you asked. I'm sorry about growing around the
Yeah.
way of the question. Yes, it was a time, right? It was the most confusing time of my life, that you wrote that song. Like I wrote it, and now you don't like it as much as people think you should,
Yeah.
you know, and make a part of your identity. And it was my identity. It still is my identity. You can't rub off your past.
Yeah.
But I did not want to be defined by what I did as when I was 22 years old.
Right.
Because some songs I wrote, I was 22. They got bigger when I was 32. It takes that much time. That time it used to take that much time for an independent act to like get to a point. There was nothing like that. You just put on YouTube and just you wait. It will go and you play shows, right? And I did not want that, and my musicality changed, and then you go through this weird time in with yourself that what am I doing?
Hmm.
Like, have I gone crazy? Is like, what is happening? This is my music. What is happening? These are my people. Why am I not satisfied here? And all the but at the same time, I was in this confusion for like 2 years. I think 2019 mid to 2021 till I left the band. Like those 2 years, I was like really like like you're like being stressed out in your own imagination, and you can't talk to anybody because all your friends are fine.
Hmm.
Everybody's fine in the band. Everybody's like, this is great. but you just want to discuss music. I just want to talk about music, that like the aspects of songwriting, and like I want to like basically nerd out on it
Yeah.
and really be, oh, we have reached here. Like we don't have to do the same thing anymore. We can do whatever we want. We could we could mix. We could be a weird version of Led Zepp and RHCP and you know and the Stones and Sahir Ludhianvi and Mazroo Sultanpuri. We could be anything, right?
Oh, a
Right?
concoction.
Because those are my influences. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's my. You could be. We could be Jay Dilla. We could be anything. But I don't think. I think became. I became excited about music more after in like 1920, and the tough time was there. Like I was confused. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Right.
Like I'm supposed to, because this music doesn't speak to me anymore. Love how I used to, and I don't enjoy playing it live.
Yeah.
And now I know people, 1,000 people sing those songs, but I have to be true to myself. Like I don't have to really get into it. And then people told me that you are not going to be anywhere and stuff like that. People tell that you are actually. They asked my friends told me, Negi, you are asking two chances from life. Basically, you are saying that you want to be independent and you want to do this again, and you want this same thing twice. I was like, I don't want the same thing. I
Right.
just
Right.
want to do it. I don't want the same thing. I don't care where it goes. I just want to be free in my head as an artist.
My
And
next question was
but what
actually going to
saved?
be based on that. Sorry to cut you there. My next question was actually going to be based on that, because then how do you counter, especially the kind of people, I remember watching the Humming Heart conversation that you had with Abhay Sharma, and you said this, that the
Yeah,
minute the split was announced, you had 1,000 comments and 1,000 messages coming to you saying traitor, traitor, traitor. I mean, you've
yeah,
left your band,
yeah,
you
yeah,
betrayed
yeah.
them, and all of that. And these are the kind of people, Raman, who will now say that, okay, uh, great if Raman is saying, a quick success as an independent act, because as a solo act, because much of it might have translated from who he was as part of a band. So how do you counter, people who can definitely throw this view against you?
Yeah, people are going to do that because people did not know who Raman Negi was or what his contribution
Yeah,
to that quarter was. That was started by me. They don't know, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody. Like
yeah,
we
correct.
did that, and it's great. Like, but I was the principal songwriter, right? And
Yeah,
and and I did not want much. Like it's like I'm a kid from Ambala, Haryana, right? I grew up in a small town.
yeah, yeah,
All I wanted was to play for 300 people in a club. That was my thing. Man, we're gonna play our own thing, and it just blew up. I never imagined it.
right.
I never imagined it. People think I wrote a song like Chulo and Aoge because they are like commercial hits. No, I did not. It just came to me. I
I
wrote it.
know.
Like you can't plan these things. You don't
Right.
write a song. I'm going to write a hit song. It
Yes.
doesn't work like that. And it worked for a kid like me. And I found these people, and they believed in it because they knew these songs were going to work more
Yeah.
than me. Other people knew that this
Yeah.
shit is actually going to work, and it
Absolutely.
worked.
It did.
And these people who are telling me that, oh, because you are coming from that band, and you go like, dude, I am like you know me as a singer. You don't even know me that I fucking wrote all those lyrics and all that
Yeah.
stuff, which
Yeah.
you are singing and humming, right? Those melodies, the hooks. And I don't have to answer to them because I actually told myself in 19 that I am going to become a better musician.
Hmm.
There is nothing else excites me anymore. Not playing these songs, not going to the scene or playing it doesn't excite me. What excites me
Absolutely.
is to become a better musician and to learn my actually art form. And for the first time in my life, I had the privilege and the money to sit down at home and do it every day. Play the guitars, learn, like explore music, listen. My music listening went from like, in COVID, like to 6 hours a day. I would just listen to music, like just music and break it down and all the old stuff. And I think I heard more music I've ever heard, like new music.
Yeah.
I got, I finally got into Miles Davis, like I could never get into, you know, I read his biography. I read so many biographies, and I got into 60s Bollywood, and I got into 70s Bollywood. I did all of these things because I finally liked it. I liked how these people were doing these takes in just in the studio That used to blow my mind. And the thing that you're talking about, that people go to stories there, it because he was famous there. Yeah, I was famous for, let's say, a thing X, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not singing those songs. I don't want to, because I don't speak to it. They don't excite me musically, and
Yeah.
it's so hard for people to get it because I don't think they understand the difference between what I did before and what is Shakhsiyat.
Yeah.
To understand that, I think you need to have some inclination towards what is happening in the album, right?
Yes.
And I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think so. And people might say that because people, some like even forget about the audience. A lot of musicians, you, it's hard for them to accept that somebody would just leave an act and just do it and find people and like release a dozen songs, in over a period of 6 months,
Yeah.
instead of and I understand that because I left the band because I believed in what I was doing. I knew that I am going to be able to nail these songs in the studio, and I am going to find my own sound because I was practicing every day for 6 to 8 hours in COVID. Even
Right.
before that, I was just doing that. I just wanted to find time for myself because I don't want to be 45 and stuck with a with with a hit that I wrote in 22, and I had to ask myself,
Yeah.
do you want this? Like, what would you do? Like, and people do that.
Yeah.
Artists do that. I like it. It's their call. But I finally wanted to, like, I don't know, to give Hindi music a new direction and to write an album that does not exist, to really combine my influences, blues, funk, whatever I could, the poetry that I listen to or I read, into one final thing. And it took me 2 years to thought of it.
Yeah.
I wrote it last year, but it took me so much time to do it. And people are going to throw that at me, but it doesn't matter to me because I've already done it.
Yeah.
People are already flocking to the clubs. Like I played yesterday in Delhi, and we played
Yeah.
at a 150 people club depot, and people were shouting this song Shakhsiyat line by line to my face, which I never expected. I thought this album is going to take some time. It's a slow burn. That's how I call my music. It's slow burn.
Yeah.
It's only for serious listeners, people who know it. But now young people are coming, 19-year-olds, 27-year-olds. It's a different thing, and it's completely new crowd. They
Right.
know me from what I was, but they totally dig what I'm doing. And people can criticize whatever they want to, but they can't criticize the fact that in the last year, this is the album that has so much of guitar material in it, which my life is
Absolutely.
about.
Yes.
Like there is so much of juice in it that I put in with my producer Gaurav, and we were able to finally do it in Hindi. I'm so excited about it that I could do it in my lifetime, that I finally recorded a true, like an honest, and this is my most honest songwriting till today,
Absolutely.
this because the album is not standing on one song.
Yes.
It's not a one hit. It has all the songs make it into one, right? And that's what I wanted. That is what I've actually learned as a songwriter. It is an art form, so let's just respect it.
Yeah.
People have made like songs as like content or some other shit they talk about, and having those discussions, right? And you go like, dude,
That
थोड़ा
is
इज्जत दो
redundant.
यार.
Yeah.
That थोड़ी इज्जत दे दो यार. मतलब it is a it takes so yeah. I look at them because people message me also
Yeah.
saying sorry that like we did not know that you were doing this, and we are really sorry about the comments. Yeah, I have those same DMs also.
Oh, yes. That's
You
always a
see,
win.
I have the people write letters. People hand over Yama letters at the gigs, and the letters say, "Yeah, these are little young people."
Oh,
Writing 2 pages letter, ki, "Hey man, I did not hear your album because I was heartbroken and stuff like that, but I was stupid." This is a real thing, and I don't know what to
oh,
make out of it. I don't know what to make out
can't.
of it. We
Yeah,
just
I think just winning over your naysayers is always that's always a different thrill of its own, but it's always the best thrill. Uh, just
yeah, it's a thrill, and go on,
go
sorry.
on, go on, go on, son. Complete.
So that is also happening,
Yeah.
and I am finding a newer audience in the country,
Yes.
because TLT had a different fan base.
Yes.
I knew what I'm doing is going to have a different thing for me,
Yeah.
right? It is, I think it's a music that you can only you can hear the album, but what I do live is completely different. Like it's a
Absolutely.
trio. And I wanted to do a trio because I don't know, I wanted to play as small and as like where I get to really learn.
Yeah.
This is my learning. So people don't realize it that my life is on public display. Like my even my growth as a musician has been on public. कुछ छुपाया नहीं है आपसे.
हाँ जी.
It is right there from day one. Nehru, Koila, people you
Yeah.
can see, and you can come to my show and see that this guy is actually learning and growing as a guitar player and a performer. And now I'm here. So I even in those hard times, I just got on over my fear of being ridiculed. I think that is what rock and roll is about. You
Yes.
know, it is about that. If you really believe that, oh, people throw this term rock and roll and indie, and we are this is so this and that. I think the true definition is that you actually put yourself on the spot, and then you get ahead from there. And
Yeah.
I wanted to put myself to test. He let me test myself. I didn't want to be a singer. There's so many of them, like, and good luck to them. I want to really try myself out. If I do it from the start, what will I get?
Right.
And the thing is, because I never wanted all of the thousands of the things anyway with my
Yeah.
previous band also. I just wanted to be a badass act, a rock act, and to do that and to be jam on stage. So that didn't happen there. I changed it. I wanted to myself. So I'm doing this. I am happy. I think we played in Delhi and me and Yama were talking to my manager and we were like, dude, you can see it, right? He's like, yeah, I can totally see it. If now 150 people are shouting your songs in your face, they were singing. Can you imagine, Vijay? They were singing the riffs of the songs.
And these lyrics
Kids are
are
singing
very,
riffs of
very rich.
Shakhsiyat.
These are, I mean, these are very, very rich lyrics. These are not like, okay, um, which actually brings me to my next question. In that same conversation only with Abhay, I think both of you touched upon something very, very relatable because I think between Abhay, you and I, we are all in the same age group. We are in our 30s. And for most of us who are born in the 90s, the immediate juxtaposition of sorts for us is we are dealing with people way younger than us, the millennials, and there is a generation before us that already looks upon us very discerningly. So in such a
Yeah.
context, how objective are you able to make yourself to be when you are interacting with musicians and artists who are younger than you? Are you able to maintain a sense of perspective? Are you able to let go of your, I mean, because it's obvious. I mean, sometimes when even on for me it personally happens that when I am interacting with somebody younger and I don't see that sense of
Hmm. Hmm.
hunger
Hmm.
in them, or that sense of ambition or
Hmm. Hmm.
aspiration in them, it ticks
Hmm.
me off.
Hmm.
But then I
Hmm.
also have to
Hmm.
tell myself that they probably are smarter about how they want to do things, and they possibly are equipped with better amenities than we were. So how do you maintain your sense of perspective in all of this?
I mean, I like young people have like I think the newer people who are in their 20s and how they do music and how they see, and also the fact that because we are coming from COVID, people don't really realize it that how COVID has affected the releases of music and how
Yeah.
the music is perceived, right?
Yes.
I think that's a very important topic to understand that that's not what the real how really music is works, because
Yeah.
we're going to see in the next couple of years it's going to go back to the same thing. You have to be a good live act, like if what happened in COVID, people like young people got on their guitars and stuff like that and they released music and it worked for them, and then they took this out on the when COVID ended it on the road. But for the
Yeah.
good chunk of 2.5 years of COVID, everything was dependent on online presence and what are you doing on DSPs and how the music is promoted, and sort of so that a new crop of musicians came up, who could write good songs, who could have like a hit song, right? And that
Yeah.
happened. But I don't think anybody that has come in the last 3 years is a good live act. I don't think
Yeah.
that is, like, right? And we will see it in the news because that is what is the key of at doing music, right? You have to
Yeah.
take this on the road, right? And because that is where the longevity lies. of
Sustenance.
you sustenance, right? And you meet young people, and I, of course, you get pissed off because you realize, man, you have so much time and you have more resources than we ever had, you
Yeah.
know, like how to release music. And how do I keep my perspective? I just, when they ask me the thing that about how do you write songs and how to release it. And I'm like, I am releasing music like anybody else.
Yeah.
When I was not signed by anybody, I was sending my songs to my distributor and also writing like things you have to write for the editorial pages. I was doing that myself, right? I was doing everything myself
Yes.
because you need to understand that you have to do, like, I would tell them, you understand this business, understand yourself better, understand your songwriting better, and I tell them, you do not fall into the trap that somebody else has more views than you have. It
Ah.
doesn't define. It does not define you. You might have a song 3 years later which will just change your life, you
Yeah.
know. And it is hard to communicate to people because I think the world has sort of changed in some sort. As I said, it is a media business than more than the music business.
Yeah.
Music business is actually music live. I think that is what music business is. Like, people go and play live. But other than that, you release songs. It has become a music business that you have to release one song, you have to put out like 5 reels of doing the hooks of the song on Instagram, and that is what the norm is, and we all do that, the cut reels and stuff like. But that is not where it ends. It is just a thing to put your music out.
Yeah.
I think everything lies in playing live, and that's why I do. I want to play this album live for the rest of my life, you know, and that is where the fun is for me. How do I keep the perspective? I don't think you can make people understand your perspective
Yeah.
if they really don't want to change. I don't waste
Absolutely.
time. Like, if it doesn't come from inside you, then no matter how much gyan you throw or I throw at people, they're not gonna get it. Because I did not get it for a long time for myself.
Right.
Like, what, like, the question that what does this mean to you was the biggest question to me.
Yeah.
And then you look at, then you like, oh, it means if we are not happy doing what you want to do, so you have to find a way to do it. And usually that way that you like is a harder way than what the,
Yes.
the janta likes or the world likes. But I think once you pass that way, you will overcome so many fears and difficulties that after a while you just go, ki, oh, not only my intuitions are stronger as an artist or as a human being, I believe in myself more because I did that for a year.
Right.
And it was like a crazy grind. But the amount I am looking at only as this is my education. Like, everything I do is for my learning, for my research. I say that this Sri Shakhsiyat is for research purposes, like for what I want to write. I want to write about different topics of in songwriting, not just stick to love songs. We are going through a pandemic of love songs.
Yeah.
On, like, everybody, like, like, that is the real thing. It is the ice age of songwriting.
Raman, two lines from Mehroom, my favorite song from Shakhsiyat, that suggests आरज़ू ढूंढे खुशी के ठिकाने लफ्जों में कैद जिंदगी के चंद बहाने. As we conclude this brilliant interaction, and I wish I could talk to you a lot more. And yes, we will definitely talk a lot more as and when we meet in Mumbai. But what's next in the pipeline, and how hungry and how ambitious you feel at this point?
Wow. Honestly, I think what Shakhsiyat, the experience of like seeing this thing as an idea in my head to the fruition of it, and now we are in the next phase of it, which is like playing this album live. It has really like pumped me up and has given me a lot more confidence than I thought it would. And I am already working on my new material, like new songs, and I think I will start releasing my new songs this year only, and an album probably next year, early next year, middle of next year. Yeah, that's my plan, because I have truly found the love for going to the studio and like figuring it out and recording songs. And I never had that. Like, it was always a, like, how independent bands and acts, like, they sit on an album for 2 to 3 years, and I think I have sort of like broken. I don't believe in that. I just want to, if I have 10 songs, I'll go to the studio for 4 months and I'll finish them. That's how I want to be. and save time and also become better at it. And what is in the store? Yeah, more music and more gigs this year. But yeah, definitely new music is on the because I that's what I do now. I
Yeah.
just write music and there is no I just whatever I feel or believe I'll just take to the studio and record it. And I'm very but I'm gonna say thanks to people who have really come along and who are coming to the gigs and who are streaming my music. It's their love. Like as I said, people just come to the gigs and like screaming the lyrics of the songs of the album, through and through. So it's beautiful. That's all I asked for. Yeah, it's great. I know I'm my people now, and it's going to grow, and I get to really do what I always wanted to do, to be really free in my head and in the music that I play, and I cannot wait and like to like we play this in Bombay and Bangalore and Hyderabad and Calcutta, and then again go to the studio and I'm just in a very happy place, to be honest, as an artist, and I feel like I have accomplished something. Like
Well, onwards and upwards, Raman Negi. Thank you so much for talking to me on VJ's playlist. This has been such an amazing conversation. And here's to new music, and here's to your relentless drive and your relentless pursuit to creative excellence. All the very best, Raman. Thank you so much once again.
thank thank you, Vijay, for having me. Thank you so much, and I shall speak to you soon. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you so much for having me. It was great. We had a great talk.
we had a great chat.
Yeah.